You know, I can't really explain to the people backstage who might be coming out here that when I said, good afternoon, San Diego, that you guys were like asleep. Like, you gotta like, give me something here. So, welcome to the Cloak and Dagger panel. Or as I corrected Marvel's Cloak and Dagger. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. You're gonna get to see stuff that no one else gets to see because you guys rock. But as if you've ever been to one of Marvel's panels, I do like getting you guys up and going. I know it's been, for some of you, this is your second day. For some of you, this is your fifth day, and I don't know why you're still here. But the most important thing right now is, I want to try a little test. I've never done this before. We're going to see how it's going to go, and we'll see where it goes. So, are there any women fans in the audience? And are there any guy fans in the audience? So, if you identify yourself as a woman fan, then I'd like you to do cloak when I go like this. Not before, but when I do it like this. So, okay, now, come on. You guys are smarter, faster, stronger than everybody else in this room. So, we're gonna try that again. Okay? So, what is it that we want to hear? Okay, well that was a warm-up. That was not the actual cheer. So here we go. I like a lot. All right. And then the guys, what I like is the women are telling the guys what they're supposed to yell, which is the best. All right, so let's see how that goes. Yeah, okay. This was clearly a bad idea, but we're gonna try it again. So if I go like this, it's the cloak folks, and if I go like this, it's the dagger folks. Okay? So let's see where that goes. I think that was the best, where you just all yelled at each other. So, welcome to the panel. Thank you for warming up. We're going to see some incredible stuff. As I often do with the panels, you know, this never happens in a vacuum, although I would love for people to think that I do it all by myself. And so the thank yous are at Marvel, Dan and Alan Fine and our very own Joe Pokaski, Kareem, Amy, Tom Lieber, Megan Thomas, Wendy, Mary Margaret, and our incredible marketing team of Mike and Raina and Tracy and Henry and Tim and Jim Corey, just an awesome group of people over at Freeform, Tom and Carrie and Elizabeth B. and Jana and Brian and Jennifer, and for those of you that have been seeing anything out there in the marketing world, the billboards, the incredible trailers, just the beautiful way that Freeform brought us the show to you guys, Trisha and Amanda and Dina in particular, we wanted to say thank you. So everybody say thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. We're gonna have a lot of fun today, and that fun comes at a price. Believe it or not, there are security people out there who have been trained as ninjas, and who, much like the dearly departed Matthew Murdock, can see in the dark. And they can do that because they've got, and I kid you not, they have night vision goggles on. And so, have no problem with you guys using the things that used to be phones that are now video cameras, doing that whenever we're out here, but when stuff appears on the screens, we ask that you don't record anything here so that people can enjoy it when it comes back on the television set, or on your computer, or your laptop, or your phone. So no recording of anything that comes up here, and the reason that I'm telling you is because they will take your phone and they will ask you to leave, and then you'll have a bad time, and I only want everybody to have a good time. So let's all agree that that's what we're going to do, and with that, I'd like to introduce our first guest. He is our showrunner. He is the one who comes up with the incredible stories. He is my partner and my friend, Joe Pokaski. And he brought a cup of coffee. You will know her on the show as a very dedicated scientist who is helping out Tandy in what she's doing. Allie plays Mia. Really one of the favorite characters for those of you that remember the Cloak and Dagger comics. She's a tough and complicated and has found some surprises in her refrigerator. Emma plays Bridget O'Reilly. And look, you can't tell a show called Cloak and Dagger without your Cloak and Dagger. All I can tell you is that the last year of working with these two actors of extraordinary talent and who you have fallen in love with and we have fallen in love with, Aubrey plays Cloak and Olivia plays Dagger. We're going to do lots of stuff today. There's going to be a Q&A for you guys to be able to ask questions about the show. I hope everyone has caught up through episode 8. That's where we are. And I know that there was an episode on last night, so there's a chance that some of you were here. But I'm sure you watched it this morning and caught up, and you're fine. So if there are little spoilers along the way, then okay, sorry. But for those of you that have been watching the show and enjoying the show, I'm going to kick this off by showing you kind of a highlight of what we've been doing for the last 8 episodes. I have a partner in all of this. His name is Henry. And so whenever I tell you that you're going to see something, you have to make sure to remind me that I have to say, Henry, roll the clip. Like now. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I would watch that
show. There's so many things that I want to ask you guys about, and just off watching all of that. Joe, tell me a little bit about the relationship of, because I think a lot of people really do enjoy the relationship of music to the show, and what that, how important that is to you, and where that is, even at the script stage.
We overthink music way too much. I like writing music into scripts, and I almost enjoy my bosses saying they're too expensive and then throwing a big fight. So, I mean, I think from the first episode, Gina Prince Bythewood and I would kind of make a soundtrack, try to figure some stuff out. She brought Dead in the Water for that very first scene in our teaser. And I feel like, particularly for coming-of-age stories, this is how you move it along, how we get to do our classic Tandy Tyrone TNT intercuts, and really say we're telling the same story across these two amazing characters.
Cool. Emma, you get to play Bridget O'Reilly, which is really in many ways the sort of the Law and Order side of the show. When you came in, did you know about this? Did you know who Bridget was and what it means to these fans and all that stuff?
Eventually, when I first auditioned, her name was Bailey Callahan, and
because we're clever that way.
And it was Untitled Marvel Project, but of course it says Marvel, so you're like, yes please. But then once I actually didn't figure it out until I got into New Orleans, and I was reading the script, and I was like, I'm not in this script, like, and then I realized, oh, Bridget Bailey, and I put it together, and then I figured it out and started researching it, and our makeup artists, they had all the comic books in our trailer, so we got to read the comics and see their origin stories and all that stuff, so that was pretty cool.
Allie, you get to play somebody that's actually not in comics, so that's a different way for that to go. You also get to like hang around in the swamp. So
on my first day, by the way.
So what was that like? Your first day? They put you in hip waders and threw you in the water.
Well, I remember I got the first thing I did when I dropped down in New Orleans was go to a fitting, and I didn't know what to expect. And they were like, "Well, here's your fitting. You're doing all waders." And so the first day I tried on like 7 pairs of waders. So I've now become a wader aficionado. I mean, I think Liv and I could maybe do Fashion Week and do some wader apparel. But it's such an honor to bring an original character to life. I mean, to be in the Marvel Universe and be an original character as an Asian American woman is beyond. Thank you guys so much for making her diverse and making her strong and brilliant.
Thank you for playing it so well. That's the secret to it all. Speaking of playing it well, you can't manufacture chemistry. You can't manufacture lightning in the bottle. Joe and I and Gina were literally 3 days away from starting to shoot. And the people at Freeform weren't concerned at all. They weren't. Very understanding. We had not yet cast Cloak and Dagger. And they didn't call or anything. They were like, we know you guys are gonna handle this just fine. So literally, we're shooting on Monday and Friday night. We had what's termed in the business as callbacks, and the 2 people that were part of that, there were a number of other people, but the 2 people that were part of that were Aubrey and Olivia. Could you guys tell us a little bit about that night and what it was like, and actually most of the day? Aubrey, you'd flown in from New York, hadn't you, that morning?
No, actually, because remember I was
Sorry, I just made up.
Remember, you guys took me out of college.
Oh, that's right. That's absolutely right. We did. That was actually my favorite moment, was that because we try to make them feel comfortable, like I'm doing right now. And so I said to Aubrey, we've woken up the kid. I said to Aubrey, so what are you working on? And usually, people say, well, I'm doing Shakespeare and Pollock, and I'll be playing Othello. And Aubrey said, I'm trying to get into a fraternity. And so Joe and I were like, I don't know, I'm trying to get into a fraternity. Is that like a show? And Aubrey looked at us and went, no, I'm trying to get into a fraternity. And so unfortunately, he got the part instead. So what was it like? Like you came in and...
So, first off, hi guys. So yeah, I've been going to acting school at USC for about a semester, literally. Hey, Trojans. And yeah, so I basically went in for the first audition. But before I even went in, my manager called me and she was like, we have this untitled Marvel project that's trying to cast really, really quickly. So they either need you to come in the next 30 minutes or you can come in tomorrow. So I said, Marvel? No, I gotta do this today. So I literally had like maybe 15, maybe 20 minutes to like really go over the script and, you know, get used to it. And so then at the callbacks chemistry read, I mean, just the scene that I did with Liv was so magical, and you know, we kind of both knew that you know, if we don't get this part, then I don't know what's going on. So yeah, it's just a moment in life that I will never ever forget. Like, we connected on such a high level, and you know, I can't wait to just, you know, continue doing it. I can't wait.
Yeah, it was really special. I feel like it's very rare that you go into a chemistry read and you actually have chemistry with somebody. So, and Aubrey and I had just met too. And Gina Prince Bythewood, the director of our first episode, decided to pull a fast one on us. And she took us out into the hallway separately and told us, okay, listen, you guys are gonna do an improv scene. Aubrey knows what you're doing, it's okay, just, you know, it's fine. She told him the same thing. Olivia knows what you're doing, it's fine. It wasn't fine, because we didn't know what we were doing. And yeah, it was a really special, I mean, Joe, I know that you can sort of touch on like what the scene was about. You say it so well.
I mean, it was these two meeting in the graveyard, and I think Gina very smartly just said, you guys touched once when you were 8 years old, you changed each other's lives, and then you never saw each other again. And this is you two reuniting. So just a tiny scene, you know. And what these guys brought to it was, like literally we got these Spider-Man hairs coming up on our arms when they started talking. It was really beautiful.
Yeah.
It was so weird because they were doing the scene and we were sitting there going, what scene are they doing? Where did they get the scene? And they were actually making it up on the spot, and the fact that they could improvise that way and just come up with their own dialogue just made the rest of the season so easy, because then Joe didn't have to write anything. Just say like, yeah, do that scene in the graveyard. And that was pretty much it. Is that it?
Pretty much it.
Okay. You know, it's funny, Aubrey just mentioned that he would really like to do more of this. And I wonder if anybody here in the audience is interested in, well, if there was going to be a second season, would that be something you guys were interested in? I have this theory, I can't make any promises, I have this theory that San Diego is a place that is kind of like the nexus of the universe. And if you guys want something bad enough, it just might happen. So we're going to try the thing again. I'm going to go back to the old version, which is, okay, if you're in the left side here, okay, and I point to you, you're going to say season. I know that's 2 syllables and it's hard, but we'll get there. Because believe me, no matter what you think you're going to do, this side's going to do better. So, all right, prove it. It's not hard. All right, so you guys, do you remember what you're supposed to say? Okay, again, you gotta wait, but that's okay. All right, so. Pathetic. And you guys over here. 2! Very smart.
Did someone say 3? Because I'm into that too.
Okay, so. 2! Are much better at Cloak and Dagger. They're out here now. We have to improve. Okay, so. Well, I'm pretty sure that somebody heard that. We'll see where it's going to go. You know what I would love to do right now is take some questions from the audience. So, is there a mic set up somewhere? Somewhere? Is there a line? Look at it. There's a light and a man. Those 2 things usually mean questions are coming. And a guy in green pants and a Spider-Man, and you guys aren't watching any of this. It's pretty great. Okay, there. You, sir, are you in front of a microphone?
Me, ma'am?
Oh, sorry. No, that's much better.
Jeph.
It's quick.
Seriously?
No, come here. where I'm looking at. There's blocked.
Yeah, he can't see you. I'm with him.
I don't know what.
We can tell you're female, and you are beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Okay, how about this? Move this way. That's it. Oh, look at that.
It's okay.
Okay,
You're fine.
hi, how are you? Tell us your name and where are you from?
I'm Sarah from Cleveland.
Hi, Sarah from Cleveland. And tell us about the is that just how you normally dress, or are you cosplaying?
I dress like this a lot.
Oh, okay. And who are you dressed as?
Quake.
And Quake appears on what television
Marvel's
series?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Everyone run.
Coming back for our 6th season. I love giving a plug to another network. So what's your question?
My question is, if you could pick any other Marvel TV character to come on the Cloak and Dagger with you, who would it be?
Liv, you want to take that? We'll throw these around. You guys can each have a different choice.
I mean, the problem is there's just so many, you know? Like, how do you choose? And I feel like when I get asked this question, I always change up the answer because I want everybody to have a chance to work with Cloak and Dagger.
Okay. We'll get everybody then.
Perfect. All right. Just throwing that out there for you, Jeff.
Okay.
You know, I just recently got into Jessica Jones, and she does mention Cloak and Dagger. I believe in the 2nd season, I might be wrong, but I believe in the 2nd season she mentions Cloak and Dagger, so she already knows we exist, so she should just come to New Orleans.
Why not?
Aubrey, do you have something that you'd love to have come by New Orleans?
I'm gonna have to go with my man Luke Cage. New York, so he's staying in my hotel. I would love to have him in New Orleans.
Emma, do you have a favorite that you'd like to see?
I reckon Bridget and Misty Knight should team up seeing their friends.
We have heard that you have let's say, a previous encounter with folks in the Harlem precinct.
I sure did.
And Allie, do you have a favorite in your world?
Well, girl, you've inspired me with your outfit. So I'm gonna have to go with, she's my old roommate and basically my sister for life, Quake, Miss TV.
You imagine two of those guys as roommates just tearing it on up.
Oh, it was. There was clothes all over the floor. You could not even see the floor. It was bad.
And Joe, you could actually make this happen. So if you had
We know who you're gonna say.
We're talking about TV shows right now, so
Never mind.
my homeboy and my homegirl walk through a lot of hopes and fears, and I think it would be kind of killer if they do, and all of a sudden, David from Legion is just standing there.
wow, okay. Well, thanks, Cleveland. Do we have another? Yes, there it is. Hi. Hey, believe it or not, there is a guy with a camera standing right.
There is, I saw it.
So it is really hard for me to see that there's someone standing there. So hi.
Hi there.
You look like a beat up Spider-Man.
Yep.
So, do you have where are you from? What's your name?
My name is Reese, and I'm from Virginia.
Okay. Reese, what's your question?
So, my favorite part of the show so far was seeing Cloak suit up in his iconic look from the comics. So, I'm wondering, how long before we see Dagger suit up?
Any questions? Two questions.
I don't think we want to answer that question entirely, but to tide you over, Aubrey Joseph has been doing one button less on his shirt every single day.
Making up for it.
Joe, usually the show just runs incredibly smoothly. Like, we never make mistakes. Every take is perfect.
No hurricanes, ever.
You know, there wouldn't be any footage that we have of them not doing stuff. Things that we would refer to as bloopers.
These guys are consummate professionals.
Absolutely.
Yeah, come on.
They never, ever, Henry, could you run the more questions from the audience. There's somebody there. Okay, great. Is there a microphone? Can the microphone be moved to the right? Can you move the mic? Is there somebody who can move the mic? That's awesome.
Yay.
Now I have no excuse. Please introduce yourself and where you're from. The mic is.
Somebody help him.
Hello?
Yeah, there we go. There you go.
Hi.
Yes.
My name's Cody, and I'm from Louisiana.
Okay.
Wearing the Baton Rouge shirt.
It's great.
From being from Louisiana, my question is, what is it like to work in New Orleans and incorporate that into the story of these characters?
I think it's a blessing that we got to shoot in New Orleans, you know, because most of the Marvel television shows are either in New York or LA, but I feel like the city of New Orleans just has that feel of hope. You know, they've been through so much hardship and so many battles, and they just continue to keep getting up and keep moving forward and keep having Mardi Gras every year and partying. So I feel like it speaks a lot to, you know, who Tyrone and Tandy are as characters, and that, you know, even though the whole world has kind of turned their back on them, they keep fighting. And I feel like that just, you know, ties into the hope with Tandy, and couldn't ask for a more perfect location, definitely.
I feel like you can feel it in the show too. You know, I mean, the city has so much character to it, and this first season is very character driven. And I feel like cinematically and stylistically, it's just so perfect for the theme of our show. And it definitely has some insane history there. I mean, I think we were there filming on its like 300th year anniversary, which is bananas that a city like that has been around for 300 years and is still thriving with all of the things that it's been through. And we were actually there during Hurricane Harvey. So we got to experience a little bit of like what the city goes through. And it's insane. And I mean, everyone there is just so gentle and kind and loves to have a good time. And the food. Don't even get us started on the food. Yeah. That was a real struggle. Overload. In the best way.
Joe, you know, obviously that was one of our first conversations was about going down to New Orleans, and just talk a little bit about, as a creator, where that brought you, because obviously in the comics, Cloak and Dagger started out in New York.
Yeah, to be honest, it was scary, and then the more I learned about this just magical city, it made my job so much easier. It's, as Aubrey said, it's the city that refuses to die. And you throw so much at the people of that city, and they overcome it. And the more we learned about Voodoo, the more we learned about the history of the Native Americans and the Mardi Gras Indians, the more we realized that maybe perhaps Cloak and Dagger belonged there all along. It felt like just a really special place that could use a couple of heroes that were a little damaged too.
And we had an awful lot of them up in New York, and so you sort of said,
yeah, New York is very well protected. I don't know if it gets a look. First square block, I mean, with the Spider-Mans and the Iron Fists, they're okay.
they're doing all right. Next question.
Hi, my name is Daniel, and I'm from Simi Valley, California.
Thank you, Daniel. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. My question is for Olivia and Aubrey. When you guys found out about your characters' backgrounds, did you encounter difficulties trying to connect with them? And if so, what were they?
I mean, you know, I'm speaking for Tandy's sake, you know, she goes through a lot in this and yeah, I think just in like the past 8 years of her life, you know, she's experienced so much trauma and heartbreak, and she's sort of the mother in the relationship with her mom. And so I think all the things that she's had to cope with is, I mean, beyond what I feel like I have to cope with in my every, you know, it's insane to me, the things that a teenager like her has to go through in order to, you know, she doesn't want to just survive, she wants to live. And I think, you know, there's a lot that I love about her resilience, her boldness. She's complicated, but has this effortless sense of vulnerability. And I think, I mean, personally, I feel like you have to empathize with a character to a certain degree in order to portray them. And, you know, with Tandy, some days were harder than others. She's a very challenging person to sort of step into the shoes of, but I honestly couldn't be more grateful to play a character like her with so much female drive. And I love watching her relationship grow with Tyrone, and even the relationship that she has with Nina that we see. I mean, it's very rare that you see some amazing female supportive friendships like the one that they have.
Yeah.
So, we get to see that, and you know, this is the first time that we're really seeing a superhero power duo that's white and black. And we're doing it in 2018, and we're changing the game. So yeah, there's a lot of challenges, but all for good reason. And I think ultimately, like, we're doing things to entertain, but also to impact and move.
Right. And I just, you know, before I even go into Tyrone, I just feel like the show that we have, there was so much sitting on our shoulders, because obviously it's the first time you see Cloak and Dagger in live action. And, you know, C&D has like the best fans in the entire world, you know, so kind of living, thank you. So kind of like, you know, living up to that was always on our minds as well, but I feel like we have a great show that, you know, really tries to push the culture forward, and it's just an honor to be a part of that. So, and with Tyrone, it was actually pretty different for me at first, because, you know, Tyrone is more of a shy kid, he's more of an introvert. And definitely way more of an extrovert.
Aubrey loves to talk.
Thank you for listening. But also the other thing that we don't really see a lot on television is, you know, that black family that is together and strong and, you know, cares for each other. So yeah, that was amazing as well. But yeah, just being able to actually finally show you guys Tyrone and Tandy and that relationship was just an honor. And I thank you guys so much for, you know, being so excited about it and supporting it so much, because we worked so hard, and so happy you guys like it.
Man in green pants.
Hi, I'm Gideon. I'm from San Francisco.
Hi, Gideon.
So this show is in the MCU. So does it take place for the events of Infinity War? Is there going to be any mention of any Avengers from time to time, like in the other Marvel shows, like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage?
I'll take that one. I think one of the things that faced us as a challenge because of when the movies are made, when the shows are made, and the timing of everything, that the short answer is that the stories that you're seeing, unless otherwise noted, all happen before, sorry if this spoils somebody's life, what is affectionately referred to as the Thanos snap. And will continue to be in that place until we find out what happens in Avengers 4, because what we don't want to do is tell a story and then in Avengers 4 something else happens. So that's sort of the easiest way for us to get around that. There are little secret things, there's Easter egg stuff that we put out there you know, obviously one of the biggest ones is that it is a shared universe. Roxanne is in this world, and it's also in other places. You guys as fans have been terrific about pointing out things that Joe carefully puts in there and sometimes slips by me and I have to go and talk to him about. So, you know, that's the kind of thing that we really like doing, but we always want to do it so that it works within the story.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Joe.
Well, hold on, I'll be right there.
I have no idea what's happening right now.
I'm scared.
Is this what's happening?
I don't know, this is really awkward, sorry guys.
Well, well, who's it from? So we have to assume that it's, ladies and gentlemen, you are the first ones to hear, and obviously, you know, when you make a wish, sometimes it comes true. Cloak and Dagger will be returning for season 2.
Numbers for you.
We will return, and the good news is that we will return to production this fall, and we'll be back sooner than you think. So those of you who are very patient and on some of our other shows wait sometimes a year or more than that, at least according to this text, this is what we're going to do, and that would be awesome. So thank you, San Diego. All right, we're now going to get to what we refer to as the lightning round. You ask a question, we answer it as quickly as we can. I have no idea. How many people are behind this gentleman who's standing here in a shirt? Zero. Did you say none? Well, over there?
There's a line over there.
Why is there a line over there if there's this over here? This is clearly something I was aware of. All right, so the idea is that as soon as he asks his question, the next person should move there, unless the people in San Diego are going, stop doing that. Ooh, look at that. It looks like someone's moving. Or teleporting, or there's a Spider-Man behind him. Okay, so tell us your name and what's your question?
My name is Christian, and I don't know how I'm going to top that announcement, but I will try. I guess this is mostly aimed at the creator of the show, so now that you guys are coming back for a season 2, will there be any possibility, because there is precedence, and I just read it, that Cloak and Dagger will cross over with the Runaway?
Wait and see, I guess is the answer to it.
Yeah, wait and see.
Wait and see. Next, it's a lightning round. We have to do this quickly. I don't understand. There was a Deadpool standing there. And then all of a sudden Spider-Man went out of the way. Okay, got it. Tell us your name and what's going on.
My name is Denise. I'm here from San Diego.
Hi, Denise from San Diego.
My question is, I know you elaborated a little bit on the auditioning process, but what was that experience like when you found out it was official and you have a gig with Marvel?
Tell them what happened.
No,
Tell them what happened.
I don't want to.
Well, you had somebody has to tell the story.
Is it the phone call?
Yeah. Okay. So, oh my God, I have to say this fast, don't I? Okay. Oh my God, don't me like that. Okay. So, I mean, I'll tell you my experience. So we did the chemistry read on a Friday. We were there for like 6 hours, really long night. I left the next morning super early to fly to Orlando. I was working at the Pro Bowl. And then I think on...
She was singing the national anthem. You weren't like singing Peanuts at the Pro Bowl. You were singing the national anthem at the Pro Bowl.
Okay. Anyhow, getting ready to leave for the stadium, but I was like, better take a quick cat nap.
You know, what's great is that Olivia really understands the concept of the lightning round. Because pretty soon I'm going to find out how the game went, what she were there, what time she got there, airfield. Eventually, the phone rang.
Eventually, I was rudely interrupted by my cat nap and or power nap. What do they call it? I don't know. I'm making things up. But anyway, I got a call from my team, and then Jeph and Joe called me right after I sang, and I was in the arena with one finger in my ear, and my phone was on the other ear, and Jeph said his famous words, 3 famous words, "Welcome to Marvel." And look at chills every time. That's pretty cool. Very, very cool.
And Aubrey, you were skydiving out of a plane, as I recall, and you could barely hear us. Well, tell us where you were.
It was just my annual skydiving on Sundays. Nah, I was actually asleep in my dorm room.
We were both sleeping. We're super fun to hang out with.
Aubrey sleeps a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the real reason why the cloak is a sheet. It's
so I get the call. Actually, I didn't get the Welcome to Marvel call until I was on the way to the beach with a few of my friends. And I got the call in the car. I was like, turn the music down, turn the music down. And I answer, and I heard Welcome to Marvel, and I almost started crying, literally. Just because it's like...
He's gonna start crying, and we're gonna be here for another hour.
I'm Austin. I'm from Huntington Beach, California.
Okay, Austin, I'm so happy to see you. What happened to Deadpool and Spider-Man? They're literally standing behind
Thanos snap.
I stand corrected. Austin, tell us what your question is.
Pretty simple. What's everyone's favorite Avenger?
Iron Man.
Iron Man. Yeah, we all say Iron Man.
Black Panther.
Spider-Man's an Avenger now that he has the cool new suit, right? It's Spider-Man.
And I always vote Team Hulk. Hulk's mask. Next question, where are you from?
Hi, I'm Tyler from New Jersey, and okay. If you were to play any other Marvel character that you aren't playing now, who would you play and why? Well, you don't have to answer why, because it's lightning round, but...
And Jeph
This man understands the lightning round.
I'm sorry.
Just say Captain America. Everyone likes it when you say Captain
I was gonna say, I think, I know that she hasn't been quite introduced yet, but probably Captain Marvel.
It's just too easy, like Black Panther.
Hulk, because I'm huge.
Baby Groot.
Next question.
Hi, my name is Imari from Santa Monica, California. How are you?
We're good. Great shirt.
Thank you, thank you.
Can you please explain to me what happened to Deadpool? Okay, go ahead.
Deadpool cut the line. Jeph, I just want to tell you real quick, I grew up on you. I want to give you your ultimate props. It's been great to see your evolution to where you are now, so I just want to give you that.
Look, I try to say this as often as I can to everybody in this room and everywhere around. Being able to do this, being able to talk to you, being able to be part of the show is a dream come true. And so, yeah, I honestly, everybody here, if you have a dream, don't let anybody wake you up from it. Don't wake you up from it. That is one of the magical things about San Diego is there's so many people here that have their dreams. They either want to work in comics, or they want to work in movies, or animation, or television, or any of those things. If that's your dream, chase after it, and there will be a time, believe it or not, when you'll be standing up on this stage. It will happen.
I grew up on Cloak and Dagger in the 80s. I always imagined them on screen. I knew it would be complicated because you have a black man and a white woman getting together without really hammering on the head that they're black and white. You know, there's complexity with each character. How complex was it to bring that on the screen and to sell that? Because
I'll jump right in. Freeform could not have been more supportive from the very beginning. They heard what Joe and Marvel wanted to do on the show. They were right with us from the very beginning, and as soon as the first script came in, they said, we're going there, and that's what happened. So it was no issue. Do we have something there? Oh, look who's here.
Hi, I'm Kat, and I'm Matt. We're from Massachusetts. First of all, Olivia, we loved you in Kicking It from Disney XD. Our question was, what's the most amazing part about working for Marvel?
Well, clearly this panel. Can I just ask a quick question? Did both of you have that question, or do you have two questions?
No, both of us had that. We're sisters, so we do everything together.
It's the best thing in the world. You guys should have your own show. We'll start with Allie. What's the best part about working in Marvel?
Honestly, coming to Comic-Con has been a bucket list dream, and this is my first time being here. My personal self is truly freaking out internally right now. I'm having kind of a major panic attack right now.
Emma?
Oh my god, everything. I mean, I'm such a fan of the show, to be honest. Every time I watch it, I cry. It's so amazing just to be part of a show that has such amazing storytelling and such amazing, strong female characters. We don't get to see that all the time, and the fact that they let us be complicated and complex women, I mean, that's just such a win, and very rare as an actress, so just so grateful for everything, really.
Aubrey?
I would probably have to say, just as an actor, you always hope for a role that basically, you know, brings in a lot of fans, but off rip, you know, Marvel has so many beautiful and wonderful fans, so just knowing that we have that support was probably one of the best moments about, you know, being a Marvel superhero.
I know it's the opportunity to be able to get a chance to tell that story again.
I mean, honestly, like, I have to agree with all of them. It's so exhilarating, and I've been a fan of Marvel since I was a kid, so to be able to, you know, tell Cloak and Dagger's story, and for all of you to be on this journey with us, and to be here, and to meet all of you, and to see you guys face to face. I mean, you know, we get all this social media interaction all the time, but like to actually be present with you guys is on a whole new level. And we appreciate you guys always and are very grateful. And I'm very grateful to be a part of the Marvel family.
Next question. Hi.
So tall. Okay.
Girls.
Us three girls.
Yes.
Thank you. My name is Rosita. Thank you.
Hi, Rosita.
Posita. It doesn't matter. I'm from San Diego.
Okay.
And my question is, what is one thing you guys have in common with your characters?
Tandy's a hard one. You know, I think what I hope that I have in common with her is the drive and the passion. You know, Tandy does have a lot of drive and a lot of passion for whatever she believes in. She doesn't want to stop at no. And I'd like to think that I'm the same way. You know, I don't want to take no for an answer, and I want to continue living the life that I was meant to live. And I don't want anybody to take that away from me or to stop me in any sort of way. So I hope that that's what I feel like is maybe the similarity. I hope.
My similarity would probably be that whenever I go to bed, I wake up on a roof. As well. I feel like everything that Tyrone does is kind of operating out of love, and I feel like, just as me as a person too, anything I do is just out of love, and I feel like Tyrone can really connect with anyone, even though he's an introvert, he can connect with anyone, and I feel the same about myself, so that's what I would say.
Determination, and I love that she always fights for justice, even if it's not the easy thing to do, and I hope that that's something I would do in that situation, even if you're coming up against a lot of things. That's what I really love about her.
I immediately fell in love with Mina's ambition and her passion for what she does. She cares about the environment. I moved out to LA when I was 14 to pursue a career that I didn't even know existed for me. I didn't see many people on TV that looked like me, but I just felt like it was a path that I needed to forge and something I really wanted to do, and here I am.
You know, we're nearing the end of our panel, and this is the part where you guys go, aw. Thanks. I just wondered whether or not there are 2 more episodes left in this season. Would you like to see a little bit of it? I'd like to see a little bit of it. Okay, now let's see whether or not you were paying attention. In order to make that happen, what do I have to say? To go, we did this yesterday, and after doing this, the exact same thing, the woman in the front row yelled, "Please!" No, that's not what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to say, "Henry, roll the clip." Incredible cast. You know, you're not going to believe this? You're really not going to believe this. But in the amount of time that we've learned, first we cheered for season 2, and then Joe got the text which told us that we were going to have a season 2. Henry's been up in that booth working on a little something that hopefully works a little better than that last clip. So for one last time, as a way of saying thank you to everyone in San Diego, so just a little snip of season 2.